Hey everyone, Carl here with Literate Lessons, bringing you a deep dive featuring Cresselia this week. Cresselia won our poll on last Friday. If you're unfamiliar in what that is, if you follow our Twitter at LR Lessons, you can go and vote on our polls every Friday to pick the deep dive for Friday. This will be our first Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl centric episode. We're probably going to stray away from Series 11 unless something big happens for VGC in the near future, mainly due to the fact that Series 11 has kind of gotten stale. We will probably go back to Sword and Shield for Series 12 as long as it's going to be interesting, but for now we're having a ton of fun on Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, so we're just going to stick with that. So Cresselia is a very interesting Pokemon and has a lot of things going for it. One of the cool things that Cresselia can do is just be really bulky. As we see on the base stats here, we have 120 HP, 120 defense, and 130 special defense as your base stats. Those are really high. And in a format without Dynamax or real strong like dark types to take out Cresselia, you really struggle trying to deal with this Pokemon. One of the other cool things that Cresselia gets to do is like access to Calm Mind. And just kind of set up on people because you can't take it out in 1 or 2 hits. It's going to take 3, 4, 5 to usually break through a Cresselia, and in that time it gets a couple of Calm Minds set up and then can just sweep through your team. Notable things that Cresselia gets to do is also Trick Room. Trick Room isn't as popular in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, but things you can like kind of play with. It's like good speed control for you. Like teams that want to do Tailwind, you have a Trick Room on, you can swap the speeds on them. Unfortunately, Cresselia is fairly fast for a Trick Room mon. Base 85 is really fast in this format, where like the max base speed I think is 130. So Cresselia, no investment is like 105 or 110, something like that. So it's not the best Trick Room abuser, so you'll have to hunt for a 0 speed if you're something you're interested in doing. But as long as you're just playing on Showdown, you can mix and match however you want. As for roles, like specific roles, I would call Cresselia probably the best Pokemon in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. It offers a ton in terms of utility and bulk and even damage coverage with like Ice Beam, Moon Blast. I think you get Shadow Ball. You get Psychic, obviously. So overall, Cresselia just is a bundle of things that makes Pokemon like really powerful in a underpowered format. And like I mentioned earlier, you have Trick Room, so you can swap speeds and do stuff with that. And you could even just like go full offense, forget the Calm Mind stall wall setups that we see with like Leftovers and Moonlight, and just go 3 damaging moves and Protect, and just slap a Choice Scarf on it or slap a Life Orb on it and just blow people up that way. Overall, Cresselia's history in VGC is very vast. If you go really far back, before Sword and Shield, Cresselia saw a lot of play as just like a real good partner next to like Heat Train and some other stuff like that, and like Chalk and whatnot. But as we got into Sword and Shield, Cresselia really struggled because Dynamax pushed it out of the format and it couldn't really compete with the other Trick Room setters like Porygon 2, Dusclops, and things like that. However, when we look back through and see what they were doing previously, Cresselia really fits into this underpowered Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl format as a very good Trick Room setter because there's no Eviolite, there's no weakness policy, there's no Dynamax, there's no gimmicks at all for the sake of simplicity's sake. So Cresselia's got really high usage right now in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I believe, if I saw it correct, it's 53% or something like that, which we hadn't seen numbers like that since like Incineroar or Togekiss in Sword and Shield, for non-restricted formats. So it's super interesting to see that Cresselia is this super powered Pokemon that had no use in Sword and Shield. Looking at common partners for Cresselia, we see a lot of the big heavy hitters, is what we'll call them. Togekiss, Garchomp, Arcanine, these are all super duper popular Pokemon right now, mainly due to the fact that they just all synergize really well. They all have their own unique uses. Arcanine is essentially Incineroar in this format. It's the best Intimidate user you could probably use next to like maybe Gyarados, since it's got immunity to ground. Togekiss Garchomp is a very scary pairing. Fairy types are very powerful, and Garchomp is one of the fastest Pokemon. Also, just probably is one of the hardest hitting next to like Scizor or something. So these all make really good pairing alongside Cresselia, who wants to try and do the setup thing, so they either take out your Garchomp or they try to take out your Cresselia. Either way, one of your Pokemon on the field is going to get set up and be able to sweep through the team. As for other common partners, we see things like Heatran often paired with it. Cresselia having Levitate means that you can switch in and out and protect that Heatran much better. Another common pairing is like Hariyama or other fake out users. Hariyama being super duper slow and having guts with that flame orb means that you can get really big close combats off after a Trick Room is set up, and kind of offers you a slow mode without sacrificing a ton of spots to get that slow mode. Looking at the metagame breakdown for Cresselia, we see that the move slots are kind of just all over the place right now. We see Psychic at 87, Ice Beam at 83%. These are usually the most common damaging moves. Psychic is just real good stab. Ice Beam hits Garchomp and a lot of the other things that are common in the format right now. So just having access to that is really, really good. Other things to consider for like damage-wise is like Moonblast, or I believe you get like Stab, Psycho Cut too, if that's something you're interested in. Physical is kind of wonky for Cresselia, but there's an option out for it. But where Cresselia shines is in all its utility. We have moves like Trick Room, Calm Mind, Moonlight, Rest, Skill Swap, Swagger, Thunder Wave. I think we get Rain Dance as well. So there's just so many moves that Cresselia can utilize effectively to just help teams get ahead in the game. As for items, we see leftovers here at 46% and citrus and pinch berries at 22%. A lot of what Cresselia wants to do is sit there and play that life gain recovery game. That's why you run Moonlight, that's why you play all these berries and whatnot. So leftovers being really, really good with it, just because you take a lot of chip incidentally, and then you get to heal that right back up. So essentially more effective health overall. Same thing with the citrus and pinch berries, depending on your set and what you want to do with it. As for Chestoberry and Lumberry, these usually are paired with Rest. Resto Chesto is the fun name that you give that combo, and it's very, very common in these underpowered sets where going back to full HP for the use of one move is usually a really good trade-off. Mental Herb at 5%. This was super duper common in Sword and Shield where Taunt was very prevalent, but Prankster is less of an option now on teams, mainly due to the fact that most of the Prankster users are fairly frail. So we don't have to worry about Prankster Taunt too terribly much, but it's still good to have the idea of, I need to click Mental Herb, I need to have Mental Herb so I don't get got by like Taunt for my Calm Minds, Taunt for my Moonlight, and things like that. Going over a couple movesets here. The first moveset here is just a standard leftover set. Moonblast, Moonlight, Calm Mind, Trick Room, good HP investment, good defense investment, good special defense investment. This set is looking to just stall the game out as long as possible. Use Calm Mind to get an advantage and then eventually take out your opponent. This is the common set that like I'm using. I believe Navier in the Discord likes this set a lot. I know Carter really is a fan of the Ice Beam sets, which is more of a offensive based set in my opinion. You still have Trick Room and you can do like Calm Mind stuff, but a lot of these more offensive sets don't want to play a long stall game, so they kind of try to get a couple Calm Mind set up and then sweep their teams. So you have Wikiberry here to kind of help you still survive things, but you don't really necessarily want to play the long, drawn-out leftovers games like the previous set does. Good special attack investment, modest, means that you take out Garchomp almost 100% of the time. You still have real good HP investment, so you're not like super-duper frail. Unfortunately, you're sacrificing a little bit in defense and a little bit in special defense. However, you have a speed investment, so you outspeed. I believe this gets to just past Rotom at 4 EVs, which is kind of like the niche number in my head all the time. I always try to get to 108 if I can. Just try and just like outspeed like common things like that. Building with Cresselia is fairly easy, mainly just because it's so utilized and like easy to slap into teams. But the big things are like Levitate, so you can use like for ground weaknesses or earthquake users. That's why another reason why Garchomp is super duper popular alongside it. We see T-Tar doing the same kind of thing, sitting there, hit a Dragon Dance or a Swords Dance, click Earthquake next to Cresselia. You never have to worry about hitting your partner Pokemon, and you can just spam damage out to your opponents. And with access to Trick Room, it helps out with like speed control against like teams that struggle against Tailwind, or if you need a way to reverse Trick Room. Like, if you have Tailwind and you need a way to swap Trick Room out, Cresselia is a good option there too. Like I said, Cresselia's still got base 85 speed, so you naturally get to 105 at 31 IVs and no investment. So if you have like Tailwind Cresselia, you get to outspeed a lot of the base 200s, the base 130s fairly easily. And Cresselia loves having that fake out support. Like I mentioned, you see Hariyama, Ludicolo, Weavile, and things like that usually next to Cresselia just to help get Trick Room and Calm Mind set up. Redirection works the same way. Follow Me's a little bit more prevalent than it was in Sword and Shield, because if you have things like Riolu, I think gets it, Pachirisu gets it. We know Togekiss gets it, and there's some other, like Clefable. Clefable is another popular Pokemon that is one I want to talk about real soon. But all those Follow Me redirections really help Cresselia kind of do that setup game and get into that position to win. Beating Cresselia is easier said than done. A lot of what Cresselia is trying to do is that stall game, so you're probably trying to either take it out as soon as possible or trying to match that stall game. When you're trying to match the stall game, look for ice resistances, fairy wave resistances, and psychic resistances. Things that pop into my mind as just like good matches, like for trying to do the combo of the stall, is Bronzong. Bronzong's just like steel and psychic type, so you resist all of the moves that Cresselia can carry. You can Calm Mind yourself if that's something you're interested in, or you can do like Iron Defense, Body Press. I think it gets Body Press in this gen, I can't remember. Another thing you can do is like Gyro Ball, like max attack, min speed Gyro Ball things into the Cresselia, because most Cresselias are fairly fast in comparison to Bronzong. And all those things can help you get through a Cresselia that's trying to bulk up a little bit easier. Another popular Pokemon is like Scizor. Scizor does the opposite job, where it's trying to blow a Cresselia up as fast as possible and attacks on that physical side, and that's the key really to beating up a Cresselia, is attacking it on that physical axis. It can't boost its defense really well. I don't think it gets any defense boosting moves, so definitely look at trying to break through it with your physical attackers like Scizor, like Bronzong. Garchomp to an extent can do it with like +2 Rock Slide and hope you get flinches, but I wouldn't hold your breath on that one. Other ways to just mitigate Cresselia is just like Taunt. Like I mentioned earlier, the mental herb sets are declining in comparison to like leftovers or other recovery items, so being able to stop that Calm Mind spam or that healing or that Trick Room really helps in that anti-stall game. And keeping Cresselia at bay with other unique moves like Encore, Haze, you can Roar or Whirlwind as long as there's Pokemon in the back to reset those Calm Mind buffs. Any way that you can either lock the Cresselia down into one move or remove those buffs to help get you through that Cresselia a little bit easier. And with that being said, I want to thank y'all for hanging out and listening to me ramble about Cresselia today. I want to hear what you guys think about the new format and moving on to Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl for the foreseeable future. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I have data to actually go over this now, so I'm much more comfortable in talking about all these Pokemon that I actually haven't seen before because I've been playing Sword and Shield for so long. Remember to check us out on Twitter at LRLessons so you can go vote on the poll for next Friday's Deep Dive. You can follow my co-host Carter at Mr. Missouri25. You can follow myself at Musical VGC. Come check out our Discord. Link is in the description, or if that's not working, discord.gg/LRLessons. We talk about everything ranging from VGC for Sword and Shield to Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. We're getting ready to start our Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl Draft League here soon after Christmas, so if that is something you're interested in, come join us there. It is free to enter as far as I'm aware. And remember to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications for when new videos go live. It helps us out a ton. Leave a comment down below, like I said, leaving feedback about this new format. When we get into our new upload schedule here soon, which foreshadowing here, I hope to make these just a little bit more involved, a little bit more better. With that being said, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're at in the world, and we'll see you all next week. Bye, everyone.